Hey, it's Nathan here, Travel Talk Man. So, I'm just going to make a video, as I'd like to make a video on two countries that I visited recently in Eastern Europe, Romania and Moldova, and the breakaway Republic of Transnistria, which is technically part of Moldova, but it's its own breakaway republic because they want to be separate from Moldova. Okay, so I thought I'd make a video about these countries as they're not that visited that much, and I want to promote those countries in a positive light, so they do get a bit more people visiting, because I mentioned these two countries to people and they were like, oh, I never really thought about going there, but I was surprised when I've been to all these countries how beautiful they are, such beautiful scenery. So I went with my family to Romania for 5 nights, and it was awesome, really enjoyed it. Started off in Bucharest, the capital, which is pretty cool. So they've got some cool stuff to visit. The best part of Bucharest is the Harris Park, which is really beautiful. Some really beautiful parks, some beautiful statues around the park. Also I went on a boat trip, which was really cool, so I saw beautiful scenery, beautiful countryside, and I went to the village museum as well, so it showed you all the houses around Romania in like the Transylvanian region, Maramuresh region, what other regions are there in that area, Moldavian region, Wallachia region, it showed you all the houses, which was really cool. And the next day we went up to my favourite part of Romania, Transylvania, which is really beautiful. The scenery is fantastic. We went to the famous or infamous Dracula's castle, which was really cool. Really beautiful scenery, beautiful countryside, and the castle is like built on a hill, so it's like it looks really eerie in the dark and that. And you go in, it's really cool. You see like the castle, and you can visit the torture museum as well. Some of the brutal torture they used to use during Vlad the Impaler's time. So Vlad the Impaler used to use this castle quite a bit. He didn't actually live there, but he used to use it quite a lot, and it was built on a hill, so they could see invaders coming. So that was really cool. And then we went to visit Pelage Castle, which is in a place called Sinaia. Again, beautiful countryside. Castle's beautiful, beautiful architecture, very Germanic architecture, and the views are fantastic. You can see some beautiful mountains, countryside. Then we went to Old Town Brasov, which was really awesome as well. Really a nice old town, really beautifully been preserved, very clean, really beautiful, and it has the Brasov symbol in the background, like Hollywood does as well. So Hollywood stole that idea. Then the next day we went to a place called Sighisoara, and had a really nice tour guide who took us around. We were on our own with him all day, which was great. So usually a tour there's like lots of people on the tour, but it was just me and my family with him, and he was a really good, really friendly, nice tour guide. Spent like 12 hours with us. It's like a private tour, really good. Even went for a drink with us afterwards, which was great. Took us to some amazing sights. Sighisoara is a really beautiful old town. We climbed up, we did a lot of walking that day, we climbed up loads and loads of steps, saw some beautiful views of the countryside and the old town as well. Climbed up the tower, got a great view of the old town. It's really beautiful, very clean, very small old town, very beautiful. We also went to Rapia Fortress as well, which is this beautiful fortress in the countryside where you look out and you've got gorgeous views, the mountains and the countryside. Okay, and also we went to Vishri, which has a house where Prince Charles has a summer house there, which is really interesting, and it usually comes there about the end of May, and it's like full of tourists. It's like people who it's really busy that era, people trying to meet him. So we had a walk around his house, which was really cool. So it's just like the middle of nowhere. There's all these gypsies. We drove through, and then we get to this village, and there's hardly anyone living there, and it's just this beautiful house in the middle of nowhere. So it just goes to just escape. Okay, now on to Moldova. Okay, Moldova, probably the most obscure country I visited. So I stayed in Moldova for about 4 nights. I started in the capital, Chisinau. It's pronounced Chisinau, not Chisinau. Chisinau is a pretty cool city. I did a tour with a local guide for the first day around the capital, Chisinau. It's a pretty small city, but there's some cool stuff to see. The main bit is the Arc de Triomphe. They have one in Romania as well as France, and they have one in Moldova as well, the Arc de Triomphe. And there's a myth that if you walk underneath the Arc de Triomphe and you make a wish as a foreigner, it's meant to come true. So I did make a wish, not to tell. And also at the back of here you've got like some nice, it's like a really nice square where the Arc de Triomphe is. You've got like some Russian churches at the back. It's a really beautiful square and surrounded by some cool parks as well. There's some cool city parks. One of them is the Stefan Chalmer Park, and Stefan Chalmer, for any of you who don't know, was the guy who liberated Moldova from the Turkish Empire, which had later become part of the Russian Empire, and then obviously later the Soviet Union as well. He was known as a hero in Moldova for liberating Moldovans from the Turkish Empire. And so in Chisinau, some cool bars as well. I actually found a Viking bar, which is surprising because I don't think the Vikings went there. We've got Eric the Red Bar, pretty cool bar. Some cool, like one of the signs says, translates in Russian as a picture of a Viking. It says, "A Viking always flushes" in Russian. That's pretty funny. I had to take a picture of that. Moldova, the favourite part of Moldova was I took a little bit of a walk and I found this really beautiful park called Valea Morila Park, which is really beautiful architecture. And I've walked around the park as well, and you see people swimming in the lake as well. There's a little bit of a mini river beach thing. People have a swimming. I had a walk around, some gorgeous views as well, and stunning, really nice countryside surrounding it, around in the park. And yeah, went for a meal as well at a place called Andy's Pizza, which is strange because most of the places in Moldova are either Romanian or Russian names of the restaurants, and then to find Andy's Pizza so English, it's quite strange. And next day I did a tour to my personal favourite part of Moldova. This place was really gorgeous, Old Orhei, Orheilovici. I don't know how to pronounce it in Romanian, but it translates as Old Orhei. Did a few hours there. Some local guide and Viator tour took me there. Really good day. Had a walk round. Really beautiful countryside, some beautiful gorges. You hear some animals as well there, some gorgeous Russian churches, monasteries. And you go into a cave and you find out that there's some monks that live in these caves, which is really bizarre. They actually have to live in the caves there. Quite weird. And but the priests don't live in the caves. They actually live in a house with a family, but the monks have to live in the caves, which is really weird. I don't know how they could do it. They live there and pray. I couldn't do that. Had a walk, got some gorgeous views. I walked outside the monastery and onto a ledge of the cave, and you got some gorgeous views of the gorges. And you look down and you can hear some animals as well. It's a gorgeous place, Old Orhei. A really good day here. Tried some gorgeous Moldavian food as well. They give you a lot of food in this part of Europe. Just kept coming and coming, and it was borscht, I think. Ukrainian borscht was one of the foods we had. Very similar to Hungarian goulash, similar sort of all Eastern European foods, very similar sort of soup, bread rolls, that sort of stuff. Very filling, lovely. And we had some Moldovan wine as well, which was gorgeous, very sweet as well. Okay, so final day in Moldova. This place is technically classed as Moldova, but it's a breakaway region. This is the breakaway region of Transnistria. There's a complicated history behind it. Moldova and Transnistria went to war to the collapse of the Soviet Union. And Transnistria they have their own currency, their own flag, and everybody speaks Russian in Transnistria. But they have their own border as well. They have their own border and police checking your passport as well as you go through. And you get a stamp on the passport. I had to fill in a bit of a form as well. But I had a guide pick me up, transnistriatours.com. He was really friendly, really good, very informative. Took me around Transnistria. Went to Benderi Fortress, which was my personal favourite part of Transnistria. Really cool. The Turkish, when Moldova was under the Turkish Empire, the Turks built it, and then the Russians defeated the Turks, and it was part of the Russian Empire, later the Soviet Union. But yeah, it's really cool. I had a walk around there. Benderi Fortress, really cool. I had a walk around it, and we went on to Tiraspol. Now, Tiraspol is famous for the giant statue of Lenin, Vladimir Lenin. Transnistria is the only region of the former Soviet republics that's been kept exactly the same from the Soviet Union. It's not been changed. It's still got all the Lenin statues, and it's just been kept the same from the Soviet Union. So it's a really interesting insight as to what the Soviet Union would have looked like back in the day. So it's quite a picture with me and the famous Lenin statue. Walk around Tiraspol as well, saw the Russian church as well, some really nice Russian church, and then there's a nice river as well. And we stopped for lunch at a Ukrainian restaurant. Had some borscht and some other beautiful Russian Eastern European foods. Some lovely stew, dumplings sort of stuff. Very filling, but gorgeous food as well. It was a great day in Transnistria. Definitely recommend Transnistria tours. My guide Andre was really cool, really friendly guy. Spoke that many different languages. He's teaching me a bit of Swedish, even though his mother tongue's Russian. So that was a really cool tour. And in Old Orhay, I did a tour with Viator. They were very good as well. They drove me from Chisinau to Old Orhay, and they took me around Old Orhay. Had some lunch, which was really cool. And Chisinau tour guide was Viator as well. It was also a really good tour. Took me around a walking tour around Chisinau for 3 hours and told me about the history of Chisinau. And in Romania, we did 2 tours. One of them was Viator again. Our tour guide Charlie was really awesome, really friendly guide. Took us around for like 12 hours. It's just my family and him. He took us around for 12 hours, all around Sighisoara, Rupia Fortress, Visery, Prince Charles's houses, and I even had a drink with us at the end. 12 hours with us, and super friendly guy. And the tour we did in Brasov, Transylvania, Dracula's castle, Pelage Castle, Old Town Brasov, was with getyourguide.com. And the tour guide was really cool as well, very informative, and really good tour as well. It was the week we spent in Romania, Moldova, Transnistria was awesome. I just wanted to promote this video to talk about these countries, to give them in a positive light, and show people that these places do exist and they need to be visited as well. I do like to promote countries that aren't as popular to get more popular, not too popular, but sort of show that they're interesting places to visit. Right, ciao.